Hi, welcome back to Storytime with A.B. Scott. I'm A.B. Scott, and this is Storytime. Thank you to all the likes and views. Sincere uh, appreciation that you spent some time with me. Thank you. And this episode, I kind of want to talk about some boundaries. Boundaries are a means of self-protection, of self-respect, and of protection. They function as they are a function of self-respect. And so, when I started this, one of my firm boundaries was not going to shows. It was something that I actually had experienced in the past and have a strong association with. Um, so, but a band that has actually come to mean quite a bit to me in the past year or so was coming to Raleigh. So I decided to make the trip to Raleigh to see the band Tombs, which is Mike Hill of Everything Went Black podcast and his various other podcasts. Metal Matters on Gimme Radio, which is a very good podcast. Necromaniacs, and I think Black Coffee Fight Club, which is his MMA podcast. Not an MMA fan, so don't follow that one. But I'm a fan of the man works and a Tombs set list a playlist I put together from a set list I found online. Um, really was a soundtrack when I was training for my 5K. So I decided to make the trip down to Raleigh. Now, my long-standing relationship with North Carolina in music goes way back for 20 plus years. Back to, I believe I was 17, I think, my first trip to Winston-Salem Uprisings, small DIY club in Winston-Salem. So probably one of the best shows of my life. Um, but and then countless trips down 77 to, well, when I first started Fancy Gap, 73, 74, down to 40, and on through to Raleigh. And I used to live in Greensboro, so I'm well versed in that travel. And so I decided to make that trip. Yes, I have a long-standing, I guess, relationship with North Carolina and music. I also have a long-standing relationship with music and booze, which is rather unfortunate. It's why I have the boundary of not really going to shows. Fortunately, that caused me to miss Kill Any Dead reunion show. Still regret that I missed that for numerous reasons. Anyway, it wasn't just that was one of the things on my mind. It was also the fear of leaving the area. Something I've noticed that I hadn't really been further than say 30, 40 miles away from southern West Virginia in a few years. And I spent so much time kind of wishing that I wasn't here, and now that I've really embraced living here, really kind of afraid to leave. And once I found the mountains suffocating, now I'm afraid to leave them, which was also another reason for the trip. Uh, but with that in mind, I also have the fear of being in a place that sells booze for hours. That was something I encountered that I wasn't expecting. That was the smell of patch blue ribbon mixed with body sweat and sweat and cigarette smoke. As I'm trying to quit smoking, I smoke less, and can't believe I spent years smelling like that, because I did have a steady diet of that. And that I kind of found to be certainly not a pleasant smell. Certainly, something I didn't want to repeat. Anyway, Tombs rocked, and the opening bands were, rocked as well. But Tombs was where it was at. It was quite nice to see Mike Hill. I'd seen Anodyne, his previous band, once in Blacksburg before, and I think he was the second show I booked. I booked Anodyne, and that was it was awesome seeing live music again. It was something I realized I missed. That's Then I have the most dreaded part of the trip back. On all my overnight drives, everybody, because I always have a habit of driving back the night of and not staying, because I really dread the trip back and much rather get it over with. It always seems so long traveling. Um, Seems so long getting to Withville, and then the trip from Withville to southern West Virginia to exit 1 is just excruciating. But I made it back to Princeton, and back really not that much later than I normally go to bed. But as I was laying there sleeping, I still continued to vibrate, because I ventured outside my comfort zone into dangerous territory. And I don't know, I'm still, seems to be okay, but don't know. It's an ongoing process. But I did have trouble going to sleep that night. The vibrations of the trip and being exposed to concussive volume and driving so much. Wasn't used to that much stimuli. And I can't believe I spent so much, time driving, and I think that really played a sleep into me having, my sleeping issues. I'm grateful I found a way to get off the road and not travel as much. At some point I will return to it, but now I'm happy to be off the road. And anyway, to anybody I missed North Carolina, sorry. Come through next time. I'll certainly see everybody. Anyway, I'm A.B. Scott. That was Storytime. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and please check out the other shows on the Arson Brothers Network. Anyway, please be kind to one another.